All right, we are about a minute in. It looks like we've got a good amount of numbers joining, so we will go ahead and kick it off. So, hi everybody, and welcome again. Thank you for joining us for the next era of Ads Manager, Streamlined Setup, Outcome-Driven Results. My name is Rachel Nobles. I am the Managing Director of Self-Serve here at GroundTruth, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today to unveil the first phase of a major evolution for the GroundTruth platform. I am excited and proud to introduce Ads Manager's new objective-based buying flow, which is the first phase of an entirely new and intuitive experience in Ads Manager. The entire premise of this new flow is to start with performance and results and then work backwards on each of the steps to get you there, whether that is awareness, consideration, or conversion. In addition to putting your objective-based results at the forefront of your campaign, we have developed additional features based on feedback from Ads Manager users to save you time, improve your overall ease of use, and drive performance that makes a difference to your bottom line. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these key new features. In this phase, we're establishing the core streamlined setup flow. In today's demo, you will learn more about each of these features, including one-click retargeting to automatically generate a retargeting ad group in the background with pre-configured settings, saving you time and extending your messaging past a single ad exposure. Next up, we have our new audience catalog that features predictive audiences powered by 0 to 1 AI that utilize an LBM to identify what a consumer is likely to do next and when with over 90% accuracy. Here, you will also find premium audiences from Datonics that fill gaps between predictive audiences and our historical ground truth deterministic audiences that we all know and love. Also, we've developed one-click cloning, which will allow you to seamlessly make a single channel campaign into an omni-channel one with one simple click, which has been proven to drastically amplify outcomes, whether those are awareness, consideration, or conversion based. And lastly, campaign recommendations will identify any potential areas for optimizations or improvements that you can simply have the engine integrate into your campaign with ease, which is just going to save you time and improve your overall ROI. And if that's not enough, there's more. I'm going to cover what's on the roadmap for future phases of Ads Manager. So as we look at our roadmap, today's release is just laying out the foundation. So our long-term vision is built on three key pillars. The first is expanding our omni-channel footprint. We've upgraded our buying flow reporting suite, which you will get a sneak peek of at the end of this demo, and bulk management tools while adding premium CTV placements and predictive audiences to drive maximum performance. We're also unifying everything into one modern platform, bringing together prompt-based AI campaign creation, customizable performance reporting, and I'm very excited about this. We're finally merging Location Manager into the Ads Manager platform to maximize your efficiency. And then finally, moving beyond visit data. So we'll allow users to target based on context, purchase data, and attribution, which additional features are currently in development. So everything you see on this timeline is engineered to transform how you will build and optimize campaigns. Today's webinar marks just the first phase of a comprehensive platform overhaul, which Shai will lead this group through, starting with our objective-based buying flow. So without further ado, please, Shai, take it away.
Thank you for the introduction, Rachel, and thank you again for teeing everything up for us. I'm super excited to get into the platform and introduce our brand new objective-based buying flow. Before we do so, I want to touch up on a few housekeeping items. First and foremost, we will be recording this call and sending the recording to your inboxes afterwards, so no need to worry. Additionally, we would love to hear from you. If you could please submit your questions in the chat, we will have people monitoring and answering as the call is underway, and we've also reserved time at the end of the call for a Q&A session too. With that being said, I'm very excited to introduce you guys to our new buying flow. So let's dive into the platform and take a look at it. So this should look pretty familiar to all of you that have been in the platform before. And to those of you that it looks brand new, welcome. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is select on this new campaign button. And like it was before, you'll have these options that you can choose from. For today's example, I'm going to go ahead and click on the manual setup and then press on save and continue. Again, this is going to look the same as what it was before. You're going to go ahead and type whatever campaign name. For today's example, let's pretend that I have a pizza shop that I'm opening up in New York. The business is underway. We don't yet have a brick and mortar location, and the website isn't quite ready to drive visits to, but I still want to have some brand awareness starting now. I'm going to go ahead and name my campaign, Shai's Pizza Place, and I'll give it, a generic 2026 of August name. Again, something just super easy so when I'm in the platform, I can easily navigate to that campaign. Otherwise, the rest of these inputs are going to stay the same. You have your IAB category, and then you have your budget setting as well as some other options below. And now we are to the brand new part of the buying flow. So super excited to demo this for you guys today. As you'll see, we do have a section up top where you can name the ad group. Again, you want to name it just something super specific so that when you do open up the campaign, you can easily identify what you're working on. For this example, I'll just go ahead and click Ad Group Reach number 1 and press on the check button here to save it. And we'll see that the ad group name updated. Otherwise, as some of you are familiar with, you used to select your targeting type at the beginning in order to build your ad group and establish it that way. We're completely turning it on its head and putting performance at the forefront of your campaigns now. So instead of selecting targeting type, you're now going to select what objective you want for that ad group. As you can see before us, we have 3 different sections that you can choose from. We have the awareness section, consideration section, conversion section, and they have options beneath them as well. Please note that once you select one of these objectives for the ad group, it can't be changed once you start delivering impressions. Additionally, you can only select one objective per ad group. So just wanted to call that out as well. For this scenario, again, I'm focused on reach, so I will select reach here as my objective and move on with the buying flow. Again, completely brand new experience, and we're really trying to put performance at the forefront. Next, we're going to be taken to the media channel page. You guys might be familiar that, after that first page, you are taken over to the channels where you can select what channel you'd like to run on. The big difference here is that we have a recommended section. Okay, so according to what objective you selected, we're understanding how past performance was relating to specific channels. So with the reach objective campaign, we understand with all of our data that actually mobile and CTV are going to perform the best. With that being said, you can, of course, target other media channels if you'd like. These are just the recommended options. Again, please note that you can only target one channel per ad group. So in this scenario, I'm gonna go with our bread and butter here, which is mobile. We have a ton of reach with mobile. People are always carrying their devices on them. And honestly, I think my ads look great on mobile devices, and I have those assets ready to launch. Go ahead and click here on mobile and press on save and continue. Now, this is really the coup de grace of the new buying flow where we have so many of these new inputs and functions available to you. So we do have the same map feature, which is going to look familiar to you. And we do have a target by location section as well. We did listen to all of the feedback that was given to us, and we finally have a run nationwide toggle. So no more accidentally serving advertisements across the entire United States. You can either choose to do so specifically, or you can select target locations that you want to focus your advertisements on. For this scenario, I'll go ahead and type in New York since that's where I'm going to be opening up my pizza shop. I'll toggle to the city of New York and then make my selection there. We'll see then that it populates and the map is going to update as well. Moving on, and this is personally my favorite part of the new buying flow, is the retargeting ad group setup. So in the past, we used to have to create an audience from the ad group initially, and then go back on our own, create a new target by audience ad group, search for that audience, and set up everything from scratch. Those days are behind us. We are about to save so much time with this new setup. And in addition to that, we are always seeing 2 to 3 times higher conversion rates in general. So we highly recommend taking advantage of this option. And it's really as simple as just flicking this toggle here and then naming your audience whatever you'd like. A generic one will populate according to your selections, like it takes my campaign name, for instance, but you can, of course, adjust this if you'd like. Some things to note that Rachel did mention is, this will automatically pull the targeting from this ad group and have the same targeting for the retargeting ad group. It will automatically by default be set to mobile targeting, and it'll have a start date of 14 days after this ad group launches, as well as having a 20% budget cap of what this ad group's budget is. With that being said, you can, of course, go into the platform and adjust those inputs if you'd like. So again, this is a game changer. we're going to automatically build those retargeting ad groups for you and have some, basic information inputted in it as well. So you just have to go in and, make changes if you'd like. Moving on, we have our targeting method. Again, this should look pretty familiar. We have target by audience, target by neighborhood, target on premise with our blueprints. The big change that I want to mention here is our brand new audience catalog. So previously, we've had our claim to fame deterministic audiences that was looking at past behavior to be able to predict what people are going to do moving forward. Now, thanks to our partnership with 0 to 1 and their large behavioral model, we have currently 40 audiences available for use, AI predictive audiences with more than 1,000 to come. These are refreshed dailies and have been seen to have nearly 90% accuracy with their predictions. So again, this is a huge game changer to not only have those deterministic audiences, but now to pair it with our AI-driven audiences as well. The last thing I want to mention here is we also have some premium audiences for you to select from. These are from Datonics. You'll see that there is a slight CPM upcharge of $1.50. Please note that if you continue to select multiple Datonics audiences, you will not be tacking on $1.50 every single time to the CPM. It will be a flat $1.50 upcharge of having a base of at least that much for CPM targeting. And of course, you can always browse our audience targeting library as well, and you can make selections as you wish here. So just wanted to call out this amazing new feature thanks to our, partnership with 0 to 1. And moving forward here, I just want to touch up on demographics just to say that there isn't anything new here, but we're not taking any of the tools away from you. We're just adding to them. So we still have the previous, capabilities that we had before, just adding more emphasis, having some more, technicalities included as well. We also have an advanced option too, where you can exclude audiences if you'd like. Really excited about this buying flow in general, but specifically that page. Moving on, we're going to talk about ad placements here. So we'll see here that you can include mobile web for targeting, right? I selected mobile as my targeting channel, and it will automatically default to, of course, targeting mobile applications. But you can, of course, and you should, as you can see, it's recommended here, target mobile websites as well. Previously, this was on our media channel page. We've now isolated it on its own in the buying flow. So there's no, missing this point when you're going through and setting things up. So of course, I would want to, in this scenario, toggle this on. We also do have publisher categories for you to choose from. As you can see here, these are preset and you can select as many or as little as you'd like. And then we also, just moving on here, this is an example of a CTV ad group. So you'll see that we have different streaming categories, again, built into the platform. And we have our top networks option as well for some more premium content for advertisement. Finally, just in relation to this placements page, I just want to talk about audio as well. You'll see here that we have, again, similar options for streaming radio and then also for podcasts as well. So that has changed. It visually looks, different. And yeah, we're really excited to be able to demonstrate this for you guys today. So I'll go ahead and click save and continue here. Okay, and it'll actually let me know that I have to select at least one, category for streaming. Otherwise, it doesn't know where it wants to serve the advertisements, which is really helpful. So I'll go ahead and click save and continue here after pressing on comedy. So now we're in the budget and schedule page. Again, this is going to look very familiar to those that have been in the platform before. As always, you'll come in and select whatever budget you'd like for this ad group. In this case, I'm going to put $1,000. You can select a start date. I'll put this Friday, and then an end date. I'll put the end of the month, and then we'll see that it's all updated here. Finally, I'm going to input the bid price. So let's just say I have $10 as the bid price. So that is all the same. But the main thing that I want to call out here, which we are super excited about, is actually this targeted avails section underneath the map. So now that I've actually made all of my inputs and inputted my budget and CPM, you'll see that this section populates. It's going to have a demonstration of the daily available impressions versus daily budgeted impressions. You always want to make sure that you have a healthy amount more of daily available impressions than daily budget impressions, so you can actually, take advantage and utilize that allocated budget that you have. In this scenario, we had this before previously, but the new thing is we have this health score. So instead of you needing to sit there and try to calculate, do I have enough? The system's going to say, hey, you actually have an excellent setup here. No need to worry. We're more likely to deliver in full on your budget. And of course, if the health score isn't quite where you want it to be, that's kind of your indicator to go back into the setup and be like, maybe I should add more locations or more audiences to target so that I can have increased scale and be able to fully deliver on that budget. So super exciting as well. And again, just want to call out that we have some advanced options here as far as day parting. I will click on save and continue. And I am on the CTV tab. I apologize. So that is the reason that it told me to have a bid price of at least $25. So I will click on save and continue here, and voila, I'm taken to the last page. So here's our measurement page. This is where we're going to be able to track in-store visits and have track our online engagement. Again, this is what it's all about, right? We're all focused on performance. We've heard that that is the feedback that you've given us. We want to make sure that we are, in fact, having the right objective set, building campaigns and ad groups accordingly, and then, of course, tracking those visits and tracking that online engagement. So here, if you have a ready location group, you can type it in here, or you can build one from here if you'd like. We also have a pixel section where you can generate one or select from existing. Again, this is just a little bit different for the flow, but again, we're still just making sure that you're tracking on the visits in the real world and online. You do not have to have things selected here. In my case, of course, I don't have a brick and mortar store location yet. I'm not quite ready to drive visits to my website. It's more of a brand awareness push. So I'm not going to select anything here, and I can just go ahead and click save and continue. And the confetti falls, congratulations. You've worked through the entire setup and you have your ad group ready to go. And, it was that easy, seriously. That's really all it took, just a couple of pages, a couple of clicks, and then all of a sudden our ad group is set up and ready to go. We do have this awesome option available that Rachel mentioned before. Not only can we now automatically build these retargeting audiences for you, or retargeting audience and ad groups for you, we're going to do the same also with just having different ad groups across different channels. So let's say I love the setup I just built, but I'm like, you know what? I want to have an omni-channel approach, which is something GroundTruth, prides itself on. We have every channel you can think of. And so let's make sure we're running on all of them. I want them to have increased touch points across all the different, devices that they're using. So they get this feeling like they're seeing us everywhere. And so in light of that, I'm going to be like, okay, let me select some more channels to target. And I'm going to clone two. You'll see we have a recommended channel according to whatever, my objective was. And then we'll have some other channels that you can choose from as well. I want, the more the merrier. I want them to see me everywhere. And so I'm going to select all of them and click on create three clones. You can select not now if you don't want to clone, by the way. So this isn't a mandatory step in the process. But I will click on create three clones and go back here. And we'll see that I have my ad group set up, my cloned campaign set up. The retargeting ad group would be here as well. And the retargeting ad group would again have the inputs of starting 14 days later, having that 20% budget cap. It's just not shown here because I moved over to the CTV ad group. But if I had selected retargeting in this buying flow, it would show there. So very excited to show you guys just how easy that was. Really, and it just took a couple of minutes for me to set up, a full campaign, cross-channel targeting, ready to drive real business results. The final thing I want to talk through is now the manage creative section. So again, this is a game changer. In the past, you had to manually go into each ad group and add creatives that way. Now we have a one-stop shop for you to upload all of your creatives relating to this campaign. You'll see that if you scroll down, you have the different ad groups and the sizes available. These are going to be like our primary recommended sizes. You can, of course, add other creatives if you'd like, and we'll have some like high level specifications here for you as well. You can collapse them all if you'd like so that you don't want to, have a complicated view. You can just collapse them and then expand on the one you're working with, or you can expand them all. It's really up to you. But this is just super exciting. And again, is in line with us saving you time so that you're not clicking into things, clicking out of things, and losing track of what's being done. So with that being said, that is the demo, of our objective-based buying flow that we're going to launch next week. We are all super excited for, you all to get in there and to launch your brand new campaigns. With that being said, we are going to give you a sneak peek of our new reporting dashboard. So Emily, if you wouldn't mind sharing your screen so we can go over some of those screenshots. Go ahead and click stop sharing. Perfect. Thank you so much. So as we'll see here, this is going to be like our primary page for reporting dashboard. This is going to have our industry standard KPIs such as impressions, spend, reach, things of that nature. And then we also have a brand new sidebar as far as navigation goes. Moving on, this is going to be our engagement reporting. So we'll have things like clicks, click-through rates, listen-through rates, and video completion rates. Something to call out is these are toggles, right? So if you want to only, have the graph focused on one or more inputs, you can do so. And it's really customizable for whatever view you're trying to have. Now we have site activity. So this is going to be like pixel reporting, and you'll have things like page views, sessions, unique users. This is really, again, a game changer because we are building on our online reporting and like online activity reporting. So previously, where we were just reporting on page views, now we're giving you a more in-depth under the hood look at what's going on your websites after people are clicking on your advertisements. So you'll see things here like time on site and conversions as well. And moving on, this is again like a business outcomes reporting dashboard. So you'll see the things like visit tracking here as well, and as well as conversions, checkouts, and carts. Again, this should look familiar to some of you. This is like an audience visualization chart that we have and we had previously. We're now just like siloing this on its own to really give emphasis to this visualization. This is just a great way for you to kind of have a better understanding of the audience that as it relates to delivery and clicks as well and visitation. And now this is going to be a high level overview of, your top performing audiences and then also a high level overview of your top performing locations as well. Finally is going to be the channel breakdown. Again, this is going to relate specifically to whatever you had set up configuration wise. So if you didn't run CTV, you're not going to be seeing CTV reporting numbers here or categories rather. But this is just like a sneak peek to give you an idea of if you had all of them selected, you would see things like mobile categories, streaming genres, podcast topics, and then the top networks as well. So thank you all. Really, really appreciate your time. With that being said, before we end today's webinar, we are going to have a Q&A section. Shiloh is going to help facilitate that. So continue to put your questions in the chat. And if you do have any additional questions after the call, please email the self-serve help email address that you see there. And please include webinar attendee in the subject line as well. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Shai. Does anybody have any questions that they want to chat through live? You can put them in the Q&A section or in the chat. Let's see. Okay. Okay, we got a question here, Shiloh or Shai. Will all media channels appear as options no matter my objective? It looks like this might have been answered in the chat, but should make sure that one was
Uh,
covered.
no. So if they are applicable, yes. So for whichever objective you choose, if your objective is something like ad clicks, channels like audio or digital out of home won't show as available because those environments don't natively support or track digital clicks. But as long as the channel is supported for that objective, then it will show, even if it's not recommended.
Perfect. Okay, and then I see a question from Lynn. Will one of your sales representatives reach out to us if we want to start a service? Yes. Lynn, what I'm going to have you do is just send an email to the email address here on the screen, selfservehelp@groundtruth.com, and then we'll get a rep assigned to you to reach out and go ahead and get everything started for you. Next question I see is from Denise. Did it have a budget recommendation for the campaign? And she says, sorry if she missed that part of the presentation.
So we won't have a specific budget recommendation, but we will have a new tool called budget deliverability that will kind of let you know based on your budget and your targeting if the budget will deliver in full or not. So that will kind of be a guide of, do I have enough budget? Do I have too much budget with the targeting? And then some upcoming features will have budget recommendations as well. But it's a little teaser for later.
Perfect. Ken asks, is geotargeting the same as geofencing?
Yeah, essentially, yes.
Yeah. Cool. I see a question from Rob. Will a recording of the webinar be available? Yes, we will send a recording of this webinar out to all attendees. So stay tuned for that. Navin, I see your question about LiveRamp. So yes, reach out to your rep or email this email address here about your question regarding LiveRamp and how to integrate that, and we can have that conversation for sure. All right. I think those are all of the questions, unless I missed one. I don't think I did.
I think you got them all, yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, thank you all so much for taking time to join and learn, more about this new version of Ads Manager that we're rolling out. We're all very, very excited about it. Stay tuned for more to come. If you do have any additional questions or just want to better understand how this is going to affect either your current campaigns that you have in Ads Manager or the new ones to come, either reach out to your dedicated rep or the self-serve help at groundtruth.com. And then we will go from there. I see one more question. Can Datanomics do what LiveRamp does by reverse processing email addresses to internet protocol address? I don't know.
I would send that to the email. That would probably be more of a Natalie question.
Yep. We can get an answer for that. Just not sure on that one. All right. Thank you all so much for joining. Be on a lookout for a follow-up email with the recording. Again, if you have any additional questions, reach out to your rep or this email address listed here. More to come, so stay tuned. Have a great day.